Hi, welcome to Webinar Wednesday today. My name is Rachel Watkins-Peterson. I work at WisCaregiver Association of Wisconsin. My awesome colleague Leslie is going to be moderating the webinar. And you can ask questions in the chat. I need to close. Yep, close those tabs. Leslie will be moderating the chat. Just general housekeeping. This is nobody's first rodeo with Zoom. Please keep yourself muted and save if you have a question you want to ask verbally, absolutely fine. There is going to be time at the end for those. But if you have a question along the way that you don't want to forget, feel free to pop that in the chat and either Leslie or myself will answer that. How today's webinar is going to be laid out. I am going to talk about WisCaregiver Association of Wisconsin and our registry, our grant programs for family caregivers, and some of our training opportunities. And then I'd like to give a warm welcome to our guest speaker today, Kevin Coughlin from DHS. He's the Policy Initiative Advisor. And Kevin is going to help everyone learn about the latest updates from DHS on the Certified Direct Care Professional. So CDCP, more acronyms for everyone to know. But when you see CDCP, just know it stands for Certified Direct Care Professional Certification and WisCaregiver Connections powered by Handshake. So without further ado, let's get started. So WisCaregiver Association of Wisconsin, I just want everyone to know we do serve all 72 counties and 11 federally recognized tribes. The other thing I do want to say before we go even deeper in is I will share this presentation on the Webinar Wednesday site. And Kevin was so kind enough to send me his presentation as well that will also be hosted on the Webinar Wednesday site, as well as the recording to this. Lots of benefits to respite care. We're just going to jump right in. When you're a professional and you're working with individuals, don't assume. I just want to let everyone know, and I'm sure you may know this already. Not everyone knows what respite care is. So respite care, essentially, it's a break for family caregivers to get that break, to rest, refresh, recharge, to be able to do what they do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, longer. A lot of times when we're working with individuals, they don't know what respite means. And there are a lot of benefits of respite care. These are 5 of 50. The first part of our programming that I'm going to give a high-level overview today about, and all of this can be found on our website, and Leslie and myself are available later for emails if you have further questions. We have free training programs offered to family caregivers and people interested in becoming respite care providers. We have the respite care provider training. What the respite care provider training, or the RCPT, more acronyms for you. This is a free course. It's online. You can start and stop at your own pace. There are 10 courses. It's a very, it doesn't do, this course, what I'm trying to say is it doesn't do deep dives into autism or persons living with dementia. It talks about the 10 topics of providing respite care that will help you learn how to feel confident in your skills. We also have, for those who have completed the respite care provider training, other free training opportunities to do deeper dives in specific diagnosis and specific other topics that are available to you. We also have, for those, right, we know there's a huge barrier in people getting the break that they need. A lot of times with funding, there's money available, but there's not people to provide it. We have a Bringing Respite to Your Community workshop.
Rachel, it's Leslie. I'm sorry to interrupt you. However, I've got some people in the chat that can't hear. Is this a problem across the board? Could you just put in the chat if anybody else is having troubles hearing?
Okay, thank you for stopping me, because that would have been horrible if I was like 12 minutes in and no one could hear me and I'm just rambling.
I've been hearing okay, so.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. I will just, those of you who can't hear, if you just want to log out and pop back on and see if that fixes the issue. I'm it's my extent of technology issues. But if you still have troubles, let me know and I will try to get you a different link. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, Rachel. Thank you.
No, please don't be sorry. So bringing respite to your community. This is a workshop. However, this is hot off the press. You're first to hear. We haven't announced it yet. There is so much need for people reaching out to us saying, we want to go and take bringing respite to your community, but our staff is so small and don't have the capacity to do the 6-week training course. And that's a good problem to have, that so many individuals are interested in learning how to open up their own agency. So recently, it's not launched yet, but soon there is going to be a virtual option for bringing respite to your community. And there are going to be 6 pretty deep dive videos. And in order to get your certificates that you've completed it, to be eligible for some other larger grants that we have, you need to put together a business plan. So that is going to change, but that's really helpful to individuals who want to learn how to grow providers in the respite care arena. We also have 2 other training opportunities for family caregivers or respite care providers. A lot of times the barrier, family caregivers, sometimes it's hard for them to accept that they need a break. They want to do it all. Then they get to the point, and sometimes they're really, really worn down and beat down mentally, physically, etc., that they need a break and they want to hire someone. And then it's like, okay, now what? So we do have online opportunities for how to hire, train, and retain respite care providers. People are more than welcome to go through the course. You are also able to go to that page and just grab the 7 essentials. There's like 7 PDF documents that you can print and download, because a lot of times family caregivers might not have the time to sit and go through a course. We also have Respite 101 for family caregivers, for individuals that have taken. So moving on to the kit for respite care providers. Those that have taken the respite care provider training and want to list themselves on the registry, I'll get a little bit more into detail on that in just a bit. We have how to market yourself as a respite care provider if you want to provide respite care as an individual, and more information to do a deeper dive in how to become that independent respite care provider. The why, I'm a big what's the why person. The why is, we had individuals going through the training, listing themselves on the registry and saying, okay, now what? And we know there are so many family caregivers in need of a break to come into their homes that they can interview and hire. And we never wanted a pool of individuals sitting saying, I'm trained and I'm ready to provide services, now what? So we wanted to create some, knowledge is power. To give them more tools on how to market themselves and how to learn the ins and outs of different payment types. We offer specialized training. All of this can be found on the website. We have for those who want to provide care for individuals living with dementia, there are some online dementia courses through UW Oshkosh and the Center for Community Development, the dementia generalist for friends and family. I see that I typed family and friends. Yep, same thing, same. Or the dementia generalist for healthcare providers. We have gone through those trainings. I think they're very helpful. If you are on this webinar and you would like the code, essentially, so we cover the cost for you to take this training, right? Part of our mission is to increase the pool of trained respite care providers. So if anyone on Webinar Wednesday, you can drop us an email. Leslie, would you be so kind? I just thought of this now, not a huge rush, but by the end of the webinar, are you able to put the link that's in the specialized training? If anyone on the webinar would like to increase their knowledge on providing care for people living with dementia, they can request the code for family and friends or healthcare providers, and we're happy to provide that to you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We also have a direct course curriculum. There's a bit more of a deeper dive on our website. There's 45 different topics. And we also offer online and in-person training by our staff, by subjects that we believe that we're subject matter experts in with education and experience, and we're here to help. Want to give a little plug to our YouTube channel. All of our webinars are listed on there. We have 2-minute Tip Tuesdays. There's a plethora of knowledge. We invite you to learn about it and pop on and take a look. And everyone will get a copy of this presentation. So don't feel like you have to feverishly take notes in the links. You'll get a copy. We also have the registry. There are going to be a lot of frequently asked questions. So I will tell you about it and address probably the top 2 frequently asked questions, and then feel free to ask more. Essentially what the registry is, I want to make it clear, RCAW, we don't employ people listed on the registry. Those are essentially individuals that have gone through the training and have created a profile. I think I'm going to go to, I'm just going to hop to this. So I'm a visual person, and if you are too, this could help. So what the registry is, it's a bridge to connect people who provide respite care to those who need respite care. We're not the, RCAW is not the employer. It's up to it's a consumer-based platform. So it's up to the person hiring them to run the background check, and we have information in that one course, how to hire, train, and retain a respite care provider on how to do so. It's up to you to interview them, make an informed decision, decide the payment or the payer source, and we do have grant programs that can help. So essentially what happens when you search the registry, it lists all 72 counties, as well as the 11 federally recognized tribes. We are always trying to grow providers on the registry. So you'll search by your county, the age of the care recipient, and what type of respite care you want. Is it in-home or facility-based? There are agencies listed on there. Not every agency in Wisconsin. Those are agencies or camps or facilities that have chosen to list themselves on the registry, and we have registry compliance. We don't employ them, so we can't. What we can do is every 60 days they need to verify a few things. They meaning the respite care provider still wants to be listed on the registry. Their contact information is up to date and accurate, and that they're still able to accept new clients, and they get Leslie handles all of our compliance with that, but they get 2 to 3 emails within, I believe, a 10-day span. And if they don't respond, we remove them from the registry, and they know that when they sign up. We also have another opportunity for family caregivers. It's called Respite Connections. If you are a professional working with family caregivers, please let them know about this. If you are a family caregiver, you can go on to the Respite Connections and fill out the age of the person you're caring for, so the age of your loved one, a little bit more information about them. We do need to honor privacy, and it'll explain more once you get to Respite Connections. We don't get into private health information, etc. And what that does essentially is that is another bridge. So people who want to provide services can go on Connections and see, okay, I live in Dane County and there's an individual who needs care these days a week, and I am looking to increase my hours, whether it's because I want a second job or I just want to increase my hours at my full-time job as a provider. They can do that. It's another way for people to connect. This slide shows you how to create a post. So right here on the left, if you are a family caregiver, you would create a post. If you're a provider, you would search for jobs. This is an example of what you would see if you're a provider: their email, their phone number, the age of the care recipient, and just kind of a description of their care needs. I want to make very clear to everyone on this on the webinar, these connections come to us first for us to screen, then they get approved for them to go live on Respite Connections. So we are reading through every single one to make sure that no private health information is on there. There's not a first and a last name on there. We're not asking the care recipient's first and last name, and we're very cognizant of that. So anyone in the compliance world right now, I'm sure your red flag started to go up, but we are very aware of that. All right, are there any burning questions right now that anyone wants to ask verbally, or is everything going okay in the chat before I get into grants? And I have about 7 more minutes before I want to turn it over to Kevin. All right, let's keep going. RCAW has grant programs. Some of them are to help family caregivers get the break they need. Some of them are to help agencies increase hours for individuals. And the icon on the right we'll talk about. This is another grant opportunity for people who want to start up a new program, and the amount of money you can request is larger. It's a really highly competitive grant, and there are some prerequisites to that. So let's get into it. I am going to, for the sake of time, skip some slides that aren't super critical to our programming, and you will see that in the presentation if you choose. Ooh, I'm so sorry if anyone else got a test alarm on their phone. I apologize if my phone just screamed in your ear. It's even on silence. Okay. The Caregiver Respite Grant Program. This is a grant program that currently can fund up to 5 days of respite care in a 30-day period. Our CAW, we have no preference on who the applicant hires. They can hire a neighbor, they can hire a family member if they don't live in the same home. So sometimes they hire an adult child or someone that's familiar with the care recipient. They can absolutely hire an agency. They can choose depending on the acuity. The world's your oyster is essentially what I'm trying to say. We do have eligibility criteria. Essentially, this is a safety net to provide respite care to those who aren't getting services by other long-term care waivers or other supports for family caregivers, like the National Family Caregiver Support Program, the Alzheimer's Family Caregiver Support Program. Many of you might be familiar with NFCSP, AFCSP. I'm not a fan of saying acronyms without actually saying it out, but those are programs that might be familiar to you. I do want to say that there's an absolute huge need for this break for family caregivers. I am going to let the data tell the story on the slide. This is, like I said, this is a safety net. This is for people who can't be served by other programs. They've exhausted funds, they're on waiting lists, and this is how much our Caregiver Respite Grant Program has grown since its inception, 653%. That tells us there's a huge need for caregivers to get that break. Here's the information on how to apply. It's all on our website. I'm being very mindful of time, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty on how to apply. I do want to talk about the supplemental respite grant program. The application process is very similar. The eligibility criteria is similar. Applicants do need to have a supporting documentation form. It's online on our website. It's fillable from either the Aging and Disability Resource Center or the county, depending on the age of the care recipient, verifying that A, they would benefit from the grant, they are not eligible or being served by other programs. And what this grant does is it gives caregivers a break from other things. It allows them an opportunity to hire whoever they choose to help with housekeeping, meal prep, laundry. You can see the list on here. And right now it's $250 every 90 days. Always reference the web pages, up-to-date information on how often you can reapply. Sometimes it's every 60 days. Then we see an influx of applicants, and we want to honor everyone that's been approved, and we have to slow it down. We may change it to 90. you can reapply every 90 days, but that's always on. It's literally the top line on each grant program website because we want people to be able to reapply as often as they can. Yep, so like I said, I'm not going to get in the nitty gritty. The supplemental respite grant program is a bit newer than the caregiver respite grant program. Another huge increase in applications for the need for eligible applicants. This talks about ways that RCAW breaks down barriers for family caregivers to receive respite care. The group respite grant program, it is exactly what it's called. It provides funds for individuals who want to provide respite care to a group. More information on our website, and I am available to answer any email questions once you've gone through the website or the web page for the group respite grant. If you have questions, feel free to shoot them my way. The startup grant, the amount that can be requested is $5,000 to $25,000. People can apply. Oh my goodness, with our funding, it changed. I believe it's 2 times a year. It could be falling on my sword. I should know this, but we had some very recent changes with bringing respite to community and the startup program. While Kevin is talking, I'm going to double verify that I give you the correct information and pop that in the chat. So this helps people start up programs. Okay, I got through it in enough time to give Kevin 35 minutes. Hopefully I didn't overload you with information, and I definitely am happy to answer questions later. Without further ado, I would love to turn it over to Kevin. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Great, thank you so much, Rachel. Just really honored to be here again. So I was, oops, let's see here. Sorry about that. Here we go. Hope you're seeing it now. I was here back in May of 2022. At that time, a lot of this was just really in the conceptual mode. So we've done a lot since then. So I'm happy to share some of the programs that we've rolled out, and we're hoping to get as much involvement as possible. So WisCaregiver Careers, we had the fortunate to have both the American Rescue Plan Act for home and community-based services available to us, and also we have Money Follows the Person supplement that we were able to use. So for the first time in many, many years, we finally had some funding that we could do some innovative projects with. So, you all know the crisis that we're in with caregivers and finding caregivers and filling vacancies. So that we're using sort of a 9-pronged, multifaceted approach to really attack this issue. And hopefully, we're not going to be able to solve it all by ourselves, but we need everybody to work together. And this is some of the things that the Department of Health Services is able to bring to the table. So we're hoping to improve on direct caregiver competencies, create pathways for advancement, increase the numbers. We just need a lot more people into this field, and improve sort of sustainability. We don't want to just put a Band-Aid on this program during this time where we have some funding. We actually want to make this kind of long-lasting and sustainable. We participated in the 2021 CMS Direct Care Workforce Collaborative over 8 months back in 2021. And we also have worked with PHI, which is really one of the national experts with direct care workers. They do a lot of work with states. They do research. They've done some really good work with Wisconsin previously, and including the Respite Association of Wisconsin. So then we did our own research, and then we did a number of listening sessions with stakeholders, direct care workers, and we got over 500 responses from stakeholders in a survey that we sent out on kind of what is it that people want in this curriculum for a direct care worker. So kind of our first prong that we did is we really need to know kind of where we're at. What's the lay of the land? We're hearing a lot of information from providers, from agencies, from consumers. but what are kind of the real facts. So we're, as part of this project, we're participating in the state of the workforce surveys, and the National Core Indicator Organization does this every year. And we, for the first time, participated in this for, first of all, for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And sort of this is just some data at a glance. And this survey gives us a lot of information about wages, health insurance, time off, turnover rate, vacancy rates, and much more. And we're able to look at ourselves compared to all across the nation. And then we also did some analysis of sort of our Midwest partners. So, unfortunately, we are not leading the nation in a lot of these categories. We're below in wages, pretty significantly below in a lot of the insurance and other time off and benefits that people would receive as a caregiver. We're not as bad with our vacancy rate, but a little bit higher on our turnover rate. So what we're hoping to do is, with some of these initiatives, we're going to do this every 2 years and then kind of see how this turns out. Are we moving the needle at all? Are wages going up? Are benefits going up? Are vacancy rates going down? And turnover going down? So those are some of the things that we're going to really be focusing on. And then one of the Wisconsin, we were able to add some Wisconsin only questions to this survey. And I think what we found was the top 3 answers that people said that they need, what tools do they need to strengthen and build the workforce. Those the top 3 are the things that we are working with this initiative. So it's kind of nice to have that validation that some of the projects that we're going to be working on are actually what providers we're looking for as well. So that's kind of it helped us kind of continue on with the projects and know that this is important work. So first of all, I want to talk about our Certified Direct Care Professional program. We have a partnership with our academic partners, University of Wisconsin-Green Bay. Like I said, we did a lot of listening sessions. We based a lot of it on our research and our national information that we were given, and we came up with our curriculum and our competencies. And we're going to have a proctored. We have a proctored competency test and a certification with a public registry. We also have a lot of really good tracking, so we're going to know kind of where people are at with their training, with their testing, their employment, and then retention into their employment. So we can kind of see where people are at. Are they having success, and are we really getting decreasing some of those metrics of open positions and keeping retention longer. So that's our second prong. That's our certification. This is sort of the 14 competencies that are included in our Certified Direct Care Professional program. And again, when we looked at sort of across the nation to see what other people were doing with training, these competencies really exceeded a lot of the recommendations that national organizations were doing. So, and the other thing that I think was important too, when we came up with the title for Direct Care Professional, it was really the caregivers that came up with that name. When we were doing that listening session, they really wanted that word professional in their certification because they felt like they weren't really being recognized. Like similar to like a certified nursing assistant, they just didn't feel as a caregiver, some of the work, really important work that they were doing was getting recognized. So we're really, we're excited that is the name that we've come up with this certification. So I want to just briefly show a quick video that really summarizes this overall project that we're trying to do. And if somebody could just give me a thumbs up if you can hear it okay.
WisCaregiver Careers, a free certification program to increase the number of caregivers in our state.
Direct care workforce professionals are so important in our state because they are the backbone of what is supporting our home and community-based system.
So if you need support with regular activities of daily living, if you need support with cooking, if you need support with bathing, these are things that we can bring to you in your home with the support of direct care professionals.
80% of the individuals now live in the community versus in an institutional setting. We are one of the few states in the nation that has accomplished that goal. It is a much more cost-effective option for people. It's what people want in the future.
The demand for this workforce has ballooned in the last few years, and it will continue to surge in the decade ahead. We estimate that between 2020 and 2030, the long-term care sector nationally will need to fill about 7.9 million job openings in direct care.
WisCaregiver Careers really benefits the people of Wisconsin. Direct care professionals do so much to support the health and well-being of people all over the state so that they can live as independently as possible in their home or in a community-based setting for as long as possible.
Wisconsin's program is easily one of the best in the country because of a few reasons. One is that it's building on a really successful training and recruitment model. It's really a building block towards the ultimate goal, which is making sure that direct care jobs are a true profession that are respected as much as any other healthcare role.
The Wisconsin Department of Health Services has partnered with the University of Wisconsin at Green Bay to create a direct care professional certification program. And so this program will help provide training in a set of 14 discrete skill areas that a direct care professional needs in order to take care of someone in their home or in a community setting.
We know that by being able to provide this online, we can reach the population of the state and help to make a bigger impact on the problem we're trying to solve. Everyone deserves that comfort to know that the person that they are hiring has the proper training and expertise before they do the job. We want to make sure that everyone has the most up-to-date knowledge and credential to be able to make sure that they're providing the best care possible.
It's our goal to be able to train and certify over 10,000 direct care professionals across the state. You have the opportunity to take the training for free, to receive a $500 bonus as you are hired into your first job.
But what we're also doing is linking that training to other certifications, such as the Certified Nursing Assistant.
For the future of work, it is really important for people to be able to have recognized credentials that they can use to help advance their careers. Credentialing is really important to allow people to be able to create their own career pathways.
We believe these certifications will show that this workforce is worth an investment that is greater than the one that is being made now. It will attract more people to the work, and that will sustain these community services that Wisconsin has led the way in creating since the 70s.
I think the training programs ensure that workers have the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence to succeed in their roles. And I think the combination of those factors is cutting edge, and it's among the top in the country.
WisCaregiver Careers is a professional workforce advancement program of the Wisconsin Department of Health Services in partnership with the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Visit our website at WisCaregiverCDCP.com.
So as indicated in the video, it's online, it's self-paced, so people can take it at their leisure. And it is done in modules. So people can take, small parts of it, come back to it. And it's based on these 14 competencies and should take approximately 30 hours to complete. At the end of that, we have a proctored exam, and that's live on video. So people take the test to make sure that they have the competencies that they need from the training, and then they go on our public registry. And it's every 3 years the certification gets renewed. So it's very similar to like a certified nursing assistant, only for people working really in the community in people's homes. Also, we have a Spanish version that's going to be available in the next couple months, and hopefully next year another version in Hmong, so that we can easier to train people with English as a second language. So our goal is this first year is to get 10,000 certified direct care professionals. When they do get certified and they start working in a home and community-based service eligible provider or agency, or if they stay working, so they can either get a sign-on for new people or a stay-on if they're currently employed there, and get this certification of $250. And then after 6 months, they also receive another $250 bonus. So we're using this funding incentive as our third prong to really help incentivize people to to take that training, get through it, and start working and filling these vacancies that we have. So right now, Rachel, I'd like if you could launch the poll question. So the question is, have you sent any of your current staff through this free certified direct care professional training? So if you could answer yes, no, if you're thinking about it, or if this was kind of the first time you've been made aware of the program. So we'll give just a few minutes on this. We have about 35 people on the call right now.
Kevin, it's Rachel. I believe so for the options for have you sent any of your staff, I said yes, no. And for your second question is where I add yes, no, thinking about it.
Oh,
sorry
okay.
if I missed.
No problem at all. So okay, just maybe another just few seconds. All right, why don't you close and let people share the results. So we don't, we've got some work to do. We don't have anybody that has used the free training yet. So it was just launched in late July, so it hasn't been available and open for very long. So we'll, I'm hoping that this is maybe something that you're just learning about and that you're interested in sending your staff through the program. And then hopefully there's also going to be staff that will find you if you join our WisCaregiver Connections, which I'll talk about next. So, okay, we can close that poll. Thank you, Rachel, for doing that. So the next thing I want to talk about is really our fourth prong, and that's using a comprehensive marketing plan to really get the message out. So we've got a dedicated website that has lots of great information about this program. We're doing social media, paid advertisement with radio, television, and doing print ads, especially in some of our more rural areas where like that bi-weekly newspaper is important to them, and more. And then we also have a unique partnership with Green Bay Packers, where they are raising awareness on the importance of direct care workers, and also helping us with this our campaign. So here's a few pictures of us. On the upper right was at one of the training camps, and the lower right was at the kickoff concert, and then at one of the games on the big jumbotron. You can see in the upper right our logo and a little ad about the program. So we're excited about getting the message out, and hopefully people are coming to our website and signing up, and I'll give you some numbers at the end. So this is just a quick
People across
advertisement.
Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online, plus earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at WisCaregiverCDCP.com.
So our next big part of the program in our fifth prong is creating this workforce IT platform that we're calling WisCaregiver Connections. It's similar to your respite connections and registry. So this is going to be a one-stop workforce portal where job seekers, and those employers are going to be able to find each other. They can create profiles, credentialing detail, training opportunities, and we're using the platform called Handshake, but it's going to be unique to just our group of individuals, so that people only in our employers in sort of the home and community-based services would have access to the employees that are coming through this training program and are looking for jobs. So we're hoping that this connection will get fill a lot of those vacancies. So I got another quick. So this is where we're really looking to get more and more employers interested in this. This is a free program that employers and agencies can sign up for, so that as these certified direct care professionals come through, that they're able to hire them and fill their vacancies. So again, have you signed up for this program yet? Either yes, no, thinking about it, or wasn't aware of it until the program today. So we got about a third of the people have responded. We'll leave it up for just a few more seconds. All right, we got about 60%. Rachel, do you want to end the poll and share the results? All right, well, thanks for participating in this poll. So it looks like the majority was not aware of this program until now. So I'm glad I came today to help share some of the benefits of signing up for this program. So we have about 9% thinking about it, 5% are not interested, and 14% have signed up already. So I hope it's going to be of benefit, and I encourage you all to try it. It's free. There's no cost associated with it. We're in the early parts, so we don't have a ton of people there yet, but our goal is to have 10,000 people certified. So those people will be looking for jobs, and respite care is one of those options that people would have to sign up for. So thanks for sharing that, Rachel. So we can close that one out. So the other thing that in our sixth prong is really looking at ladders and lattices, and it's like, how can we really clear the way for people and knock down barriers so that training becomes more portable, that people can move across different agencies and different maybe work settings, and then that they also have a ladder to advancement. We heard a lot from our certified direct, or the direct care workers when we were doing our listening session, that many of them, not all of them, but many are looking for sort of that advancement. So we're working with our sister agency, Division of Quality Assurance, who licenses and regulates a lot of like assisted living, personal care, to see if we can have some crosswalks so that providers in those areas don't have to, if there's some things that we're already doing with our certification, they don't have to train in certain areas. So we're finding those areas that are duplicative. And then we're also working with a couple of different organizations to be a ladder, so that eventually there could be this ladder from our CDCP to a CNA, for example. And a lot of, most nursing programs do require people to go through a CNA training program. So I think as we're working with like young people, especially, and they can see this ladder to a higher healthcare profession, so that maybe in high school they can become a certified direct care professional, then they can move on to being a CNA and then an RN, for example. So these are the sort of work that we're trying to do to really promote the knocking down barriers, but also leading to other career opportunities. Speaking of which, we're working with the Department of Public Instruction and the Department of Workforce Development with Wisconsin HOSA, which is in the high schools. It's those students interested in a healthcare career track. Regional career pathways, we are now on the list. So when teachers and high schools talk to their students about kind of their career options, certified direct care professional is now one of those things that they can become while they're in high school to really advance that career opportunity. And then we're in some early discussions with youth apprenticeship. So we're excited about getting young people thinking about healthcare careers. Even if they stay for only a short time, it's a wonderful experience that they can have as they take that on to some of their higher aspirations. And our seventh prong is we are kind of another scope of work is what we'd like to do is really leverage all of the great training that's out there already, including, it was so great to hear all the updates on the respite care training that the association does. And so the idea would be, can we link our certified direct care professional to other credentials, other micro credentials, for example, and then a certified direct care professional, let's say if they got credentialed in, for example, as a respite care provider or social emotional learning with children, they would have those virtual badges that would be attached to their certification, so that when an employer is looking at them in our WisCaregiver Connections, they would be able to see that they have this additional credentials and badges. So we're in the early concept of this. We're going to be creating an application. So if agencies that have existing training right now would be interested in kind of connecting to, again, potentially 10,000 people that are coming through this program to get more training that can specialize in certain areas, we're interested in working with them. So more to come on that strategy. And then just another thing that we've done with the American Rescue Plan Act funding is we've had an innovative grants program where we have $30 million that we distributed under 2 grant rounds. So in the first round, people could apply 25,000 up to 2 million. In the second round, it was 25,000 up to $1 million. And in our round 1, we had over 700 applicants that requested, I believe it was over $400 million. So we had to get that 400 million down to about 17 million, which was awarded to 69 agencies. And then in our round 2, we had 455 applications requesting over $82 million. And that we had to bring down to 89 grant awards of 12.3 million. So that kind of overall we were very close to our $30 million goal for that project. And the reason I'm bringing it into this discussion is on our dashboard, when we look at, there was a lot of, I think this is our dashboard of sort of our overall for round 2 and some of the programs that got impacted and some of the project objectives. But this next one kind of shows you when we look at workforce, 89 or 20 million of that funding went towards various workforce projects. And we thought that was probably going to happen because that's top of mind for a lot of people. So we're excited to see some of these innovative ideas that people had for recruitment, for retention, for training. So those are all, all of these projects are at some different stages because it was last year when we or this spring when we completed our second round. So, some of these projects might go a couple years to get the things fully launched. But there's, if we have time, I'd like to show a video of one of our projects that really looks like it could be maybe a game changer for the workforce crisis. So we do have a success story webpage. So if you get a chance, go out and look at some of those different projects. What we hope to have is a summit next year that will be able to share all the results. And what we want is some of these to be replicated, that other agencies can use some of the great ideas that came out of these grants to improve their own areas. So again, we'll show a quick video if we have time. And the ninth prong is really how do we sustain this program? So we're trying to build it into our CMS waivers. We hope to have, we're going to have a lot of really rich data from this program to know really who these people are that are taking the training. Are they passing? Are they, what do they think about the training at the end? Are they getting hired? Are those providers and agencies happy with their these people coming out of this kind of a training program? So we need to kind of tell that story in our biennial budgets so that we can really keep this program going for free, and also keeping those bonuses, if at all possible, for individuals taking this. So just a little bit of kind of where we're at. So we have a pipeline here showing the program. So again, this is about 2 months old since we launched the program, and we have already over 3,000 students that have registered of interest. So they have, they've responded to the marketing, they've logged in, they're attesting that they'll work in our home and community-based services. And then those people, once they sign in and complete that, University of Wisconsin Green Bay sends them an email on here's how to log in and register into Canvas. And Canvas is the sort of the platform to do the actual training through the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. So over half of those people have kind of taken that next step and are into that Canvas and are creating their profiles and have started training. So of the 1,700 that are in that in Canvas, the 959 have completed at least one module, and probably many more, but we're just trying to get an idea of kind of how many of those 1,700 have really taken that next step in taking the training. So so again, well over half of that group. And then if you add these next two up, 115 people have completed all of the training. 57 have completed the tests, have passed the tests, and are now on the registry, and 58 are waiting to take that test. And we have opportunities throughout the week for people to sign up to take that test. So that 58 will be very soon on our registry. And then of those 57, 40 of them are already employed, with 17 looking for jobs yet. So we have not met the 6-month retention, so we don't have any of those numbers yet. And then, so our employer pipeline, we have over 464 employers that have registered for that. And then they also have to take sort of that next step to become registered in Handshake, in WisCaregiver Connections. So we have 126 of those individuals that have done that. And those are the ones that will be able to see those students that are looking for jobs, and vice versa. So, so that'll be, again, this is all free to employers, free to students. The incentives are paid for, the provider doesn't have to do any of that. And hopefully some of this training is something that now you won't have to pay for on your own if you're required to have some of that. So I just wanted to kind of give you a sense of each of the people that are coming out of our training has to take a short survey to let us know how the training went. Was it effective? Do we need any suggested changes that we should do? And what we're finding in, I think all cases, I think we had one person that maybe had some good suggestions, but it was more, wanted us to improve some areas. But the other 90 or 100 and was it 14 were really positive reviews. So we're feeling really good about that. I think we've created something that caregivers are looking for, that they see a value, and we hope that translates into good work that's also happening. So we are getting a lot of national attention for what we're doing, and other states are looking at kind of what Wisconsin has been doing with direct care professionals. There's not a lot of work. Every state had ARPA funding, and many of them are now looking at Wisconsin to see, is there a way that they can ramp up similar to some of the things that Wisconsin has done. So here's links to all the different things that we talked about today, and there's fact sheets in different languages if you need that. And again, I think Rachel will post that on your website. So we have, we're down to only 3 minutes. I apologize. I was hoping to get through a little bit more, but
okay. That's okay. I believe, thank you so much, Kevin, for that information. I believe that okay, can the attendees be emailed the PowerPoint? So this is going to be, both PowerPoints will be listed on RCAW's website on the Webinar Wednesday page right away after this webinar. These will be emailed, but they won't be by close of business today. So if you want them hot off the press, feel free to visit our website and find Webinar Wednesday, and I'm popping our website in the chat. Of course. And one question I have, Kevin, so our training and your training are incredible to meet the need of people in Wisconsin. Maybe we can talk offline, but it would be great to learn how we can complement each other in our trainings. That was the one thing that's on the forefront of my brain right now after hearing you.
Yes, we'd love to be that, so where we can list your training and link it in micro credentials. So yeah, let's get some time together. And I did want to let people know kind of there's some questions about how to sign up. So when you go to this WisCaregiver CDCP, and then up on the upper right it says site for agencies and providers. So that's where you'll click that, and it'll bring you to a website that you put all your information in, and then UW Green Bay will vet to make sure that you're an eligible provider. So they'll do that. We have a bunch of ways that they can do that, and then you're all set. Then you can then they'll get emails and you can get into the profile.
Great, Kevin. Thank you so much. There are quite, like I said, I'm almost certain I fielded all of the questions. Everyone is going to be provided with Kevin's email and my email. You already have that in the chat for other questions. This isn't the last time we'll connect. You can find us on our websites. You have our emails, and stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us. And the recording of this webinar will also be on the website and our YouTube page. You are very welcome to everyone saying thank you. Join us again. And Kevin, thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's sign off and have a great rest of the day.
Thanks for having me. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.